Aloha everyone, and welcome back to Aloha Jen's Beauty Blog. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Jen and I am a licensed esthetician in the state of California. And for those of you that are new here, I am 48 years old and I am currently in the middle of perimenopause. So I will be sharing that journey with you along with other things. But today I have a get ready with me video. So I'm going to go through and give you guys some updates, about my life, my health, the channel. I hope that this will probably be the last get ready with me video that I do for a while, because I know like lately my videos have been focused around this type of content. But the last few times I have been sharing my skincare routine, and I did today because, as you guys know, if you watched my last video, I have been dabbling into essences. So I show you how I use them in my routine, and I use them during the day. However, I did use it last night with the prequel half and half, and it works really good at night too. You get a lot of hydration in the skin. So I'm going to show you my skincare routine, and then I have some new makeup that will apply to my face today. And there's some oldies here. But my goal is to get back into the type of content that we did before, but I'm going to dabble into a lot of different things here that I haven't really done in the past. Like going into my perimenopause journey with you guys and sharing with you what has been working for me and what hasn't been working for me. My diet, my exercise, my supplementation, that sort of thing. So we will get more into that because I think it's going to be very helpful for you, because from what I'm seeing out here, a lot of people make it seem so glorified to be in perimenopause or menopause. And, they're on hormone replacement therapy. I can't take hormone replacement therapy. It's not right for my body. And not everybody wants to do that. So I'm going to guide you into me going through these struggles and not being able to use HRT. And yeah, so we'll go from there. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's a long one again. I know I have to work on that. And, once I start getting back into a regular practice of videos, hopefully that will happen. But you guys are going to go into this and, I have that brain thing going on with the perimenopause, and sometimes I forget what I'm going to say. My brain fog is kind of a little bit strong, especially this past week, because there's been some things that have gone on with my job that have really affected me, and I don't like it, and I just let it get to me where I shouldn't, and I've been kind of like stressing and just overthinking, and it's affected me this weekend because I wasn't able to catch up on my sleep. I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, worrying and stressing, and it's just been like a horrible week for me. But I'm here and I'm trying to remain positive, and I hope to be that way in these videos. I don't want to come off negative towards you guys, but going through perimenopause and dealing with struggles in your life, it is not roses and rainbows, and it's been complete hell for me, to be honest with you. But anyways, you guys are going to go into the video. I love you, and I will see you soon. Aloha everyone, and welcome to this Get Ready With Me. So we are going to do some life updates, some updates to the channel, and then I have some new products. I'm also going to show you how I like to incorporate the essence into my skincare routine with the prequel half and half. So I did order another essence that came highly recommended, which is the one by Tier. So these are the two that seem to be the most popular from what I have been researching. Now this one says it's moisturizing and soothing. I'm hoping that this one isn't the same consistency as the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Probiotic Barrier Essence, because this one is too like moisturizing for my skin right now. but this would be perfect for my skin in the cooler, drier months, you know, fall, winter. So if you have dry skin, this is definitely one I would recommend for you to check out. If you have normal to oily skin, I definitely recommend the 70 plus ceramide milky rice, glowy milky rice toner from Anua. I really like this skincare brand. I have their cleansing oil, which is really, really nice. So we're going to try, I'm going to open up the tier when we get to that step, and we're going to look at the consistency. It just arrived. I got an Amazon order. So let's start off with my skincare. So I did cleanse with the Prequel cleanser. I'm a little bit sensitive today because I did shave my face yesterday. And then after I shaved my face, I went in, or before I shaved my face, I went in, I washed my skin with the enzyme cleanser, and then I went in with the Glymed oxygen depore mask, and I left this on my skin for a little bit too long, and then I shaved my face, and it's a little bit sensitive. I probably should have put this one on directly into my skin, but I just mixed 2 drops of the Calcium Professional Serum into my matte cream. And then this morning, my skin does feel a little bit sensitive. And tonight is my last day of my 4 weeks of using the Derm Rays. I was going to use it yesterday, but I shaved my face, and with it being a little sensitive, I decided to forego it, but I'm going to do my treatment tonight. And then tomorrow I will take my after pictures, and then hopefully I'll have a video up for you guys on this laser with my before and after pictures after 4 weeks on Wednesday. So I'm going to go in with the Atour Definitive Lifting Toner, and I am right here on this. I've been using this for a little over 2 months now, and I like to spray it on my skin after I cleanse. And I definitely want to repurchase this. I really, really love this and what it does for my skin. It does help my products absorb better into my skin, but it does give your skin that instant firming and lifting look to it. So, all right, so I'm gonna do my skincare with you guys, and then we'll get into some makeup. And I was going to film, my plan was to film like at least 2 videos this weekend, but unfortunately that didn't happen because I just had a really busy weekend. One of my clients was in town visiting, and she asked me if I could give her a facial on Saturday, so I did that yesterday. And look what she gave me. She gave me the Prada foundation. I don't know what it's called. What is it? Prada Reveal foundation in the shade MN45. So it's medium neutral 45. Now, I did do a swatch of this. It does look like it's the right color for me. We have similar skin tone. She's the one that gifted me the YSL blushes too, by the way. But this does have a citrus fragrance in it. It does have SPF in it, SPF of 17. And then the citrus fragrance in this, it's limonene. So I don't know how this is going to work out for my skin. I've been looking for like a soft matte foundation. And this is a soft matte foundation. She doesn't like this for her skin because she has drier skin. So we'll see, but I hear that people with dry skin really, really like that. She missed the window to return it, so she thought that she would just give it to me, so I'm so lucky. All right, so I'm going to take a pea-size amount of my MAC cream, and I am going to add the 2 drops of the Professional Serum. And last night, I really should have went in with my Night Recovery Complex with this to help my skin repair and regenerate from shaving it. But I just did my normal skincare because the night before, it was Friday, and my husband and I went out to dinner, and we didn't get home until late. So I did my lazy night skincare, which is going in with the Calcium Night Recovery Complex and the Eye Contour Lifting Cream. So I didn't do my full-on skincare, and I probably should have I probably should have just used that because my skin wouldn't be as sensitive as it is today. So I guess I just overdid it with the exfoliation. So I'm spreading this matte cream all over my skin. And then what I like to do, and what I've been really focusing on doing lately, is really pressing my products into my skin instead of just rubbing them in. And I find it does really, really well. Now, with the skincare products that I use, I can't necessarily use a product penetration device because I would have to be spraying on some sort of water or toning mist to help them penetrate into my skin with a product penetration device, because you need the slip, and the products that I use don't really have a lot of slip on the skin. And I don't want to add in another product because, like I mentioned before, I was trying to simplify my skincare routine. And I don't want to have like all these different products. So I'm taking the Calisym Eye Contour Lifting Cream and I apply this to my eyes. And I started incorporating that Circadia Counter AGE serum into my skincare routine, and that's the product that we're gonna go in with next, because I am prone to glycation because I am suffering from insulin resistance due to my perimenopause. And if I go out in the sun, more than likely I'm gonna get glycated skin, and I've been working so hard on it with this laser, and everything is just looking so good on my skin from using that Dermarays laser. I'm so completely over the moon happy with it. I think it's doing great things for my skin. I haven't noticed any adverse reactions such as, I mean, it's not going to melt your fat pads or your subcutaneous layer of fat, but you know, with any sort of heat energy device, you do risk it degenerating those dermal fat cells. But I still think that my skin looks good. I think it looks better. I think my skin looks younger. What do you guys think? I think I look younger. I've even gotten a lot of compliments on my skin lately too. They're like, what did you do? Did you do something different? And I said, I'm testing this laser and it's awesome. So I'm gonna go in with the Circadia Counter AGE Anti-glycation Serum. So this is a watery serum, and it kind of reminds me of the Victoria DM Peptides. And I know what you're gonna ask me is, why don't I put this on before the Calisym Matte Cream? And the reason being is that this does contain some hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid is a little bit larger molecule. I don't want it to block any of my other products, such as the Calisym Matte Cream, from penetrating into my skin. I don't want to risk that. Plus the peptides in here could be larger as well. So in my routine, since I'm not using the Victoria DM Peptides right now, the Calisym Matte Cream goes on first because it is my growth factor. Now, if I was incorporating the professional serum and using this as like a true serum on my face, this would go on first, and then I would follow through with the matte cream or the night recovery complex, or I would just add 2 drops like I did today to my matte cream, okay? And then now here we're gonna go in with this serum. Now this serum has carnosine in it. I'm taking 2 drops and I keep it at my fingertips, just like I do my Victoria DM Peptides, and I just work it into the areas of my skin. Now, carnosine is really good at helping with preventing and breaking up glycation in the skin. So this is going to be a more concentrated form of the carnosine versus the Isden Age Contour creams. Those have carnosine in them and they're recommended for glycated skin, but this is going to be a more concentrated form of that peptide, and there's no oils or butters in here hindering this from absorbing into the skin. So this is going to be more potent. And if you don't like those Isden creams because they are a little bit pricey and they are fragrance, then this is something for you to look into. to help if you have glycation, if you are prone to glycation, anything like that. Okay, so what I do is I like to take 2 drops at a time and then just work it into my skin. And I am putting this all over except for directly under my eyes. And I always make sure that I get it really good in those areas that I know are more prone to sun exposure. Now I'm taking 3 drops and I'm just going to put this on my chest. So I'm starting to feel better here now with going through my perimenopause symptoms. I feel like the supplements that my doctor put me on have finally kicked in and it's improving my mood. Now, one thing that I really have to do is I have to try to find some balance in my life, because it seems like since April, it's like when the perimenopause kicked in, that's when I started getting my periods every 2 weeks. And it was really, really draining me. And then I went to go see a functional medical doctor and she put me on beef organs. I've always taken beef liver and bone marrow and then sometimes beef organs, but then she put me on the Her Package by Heart and Soil, and I started taking that. I took it for a month, and then I switched to the ancestral supplements. I went to the female enhancement, and I've been on that for 3 months, but this month I started adding in the placenta, and that's really been helping me with my moods. I switched to the ancestral supplements female enhancement because I liked the ingredients better, and it includes beef liver and bone marrow, which is really good for females who are going through perimenopause, but it's also really good for your skin and your body. Otherwise, getting those nutrients in. And I finally feel like it's kicking in. So my cycle is getting back on track now to where I'm not getting my period every 2 weeks. But I have been going through a rough time, especially with work, and I've let my job take over my life. And I'm an hourly employee and I'm not management. And I really shouldn't let it take over my life. And I need to take a step back in the sense of feeling like I have too much on my shoulders with the place. So I'm taking 2 pumps of the Photozyme, what is this called again? I keep forgetting. DNA Youth Recovery Serum. And I put this over the Circadia Glycation Serum. And that 2 pumps is good for my neck and my face. And I'm going to take 1 pump for my chest. Now, this is my newer bottle. I opened this up, I think it was like a week or 2 ago. And it seems like the pumps, they give you more than the other bottle that I had. The other bottle was just little pumps. So I felt like I was using a lot more of the serum. So now what I'm going to do is just press this into my skin. And pressing your serums in between the steps not only helps with them penetrating into the skin, but you give them time to soak into your skin. So whatever you're going to put on next, or if you're going to put on makeup or anything, you don't have all these products just sitting all together on your skin. You want to give them some time to penetrate into the skin. I like to, try to focus on waiting at least a minute before I go in with my next serum. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the box. This is 15 mLs, and I think it's $50, and I picked it up at the Skin Beautiful RX sale. I've been using it twice a day for, I think, almost a week and a half now. And I'm right here on it. So this will definitely be a repurchase. I really like so far what I'm seeing in my skin with this. But of course, it's only been a week and a half. But I haven't had any irritation. And, I just like it. And I hope it really helps with glycation. Because like I said, I'm prone to it. And I do have glycation over here in this area for my scarring from my accident. Since the skin is thinner and different here, than the rest of my face that I'm prone to glycation over here on this side. Okay, so now let's open up the Tear essence. So this is the Tear Milk Skin Toner, and there's two formulas. There's a light and the original. So I picked up the original because the original one is what everyone loves. And then this had better ingredients in it. Let's see what is in here. So all of these ones that I have do contain niacinamide in them. It is fragrance free. Oh, there's peppermint leaf extract in here. Hopefully that doesn't affect me too much. Okay, well, we'll see how this is. But it's highly rated. A lot of people love it. It says Tear Milk Skin Toner contains chamomile extract and rice bran extract that make moist and smooth. That's all it says. So this one is an Amazon exclusive, and they had a 30% off coupon. So I got this for $15, so great deal. Okay, so the packaging is nice. Oh, it is a thinner formula like the Anua 70 Plus. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Does it have a scent? No, there's a plug in it. Let me take out the plug. Oops. Oh, that's nice. It just smells like skincare. This one seems like it's a little bit more, it's a little bit thicker than the Anua. This is almost like a water serum. This is like a really thick essence. And this one is like an in-between the both of those. But we're gonna try it, so let's see. So it's almost water, but it's got a little bit of thickness in it compared to the Anua. So what I do is I shake it and put a few drops into my hands, go like this with my hands, and then I start pressing it into my skin. I need some more. Yeah, this one is in between those other two. Okay. All right, so now what I like to do is I like to just keep this and I'll press it into my skin, and I take it up underneath my eyes. And this is probably gonna be really good for me today because I am gonna try that Prada foundation, and it's a soft matte foundation, and matte foundations tend to be a bit drying on my skin. And this will probably give me some really good hydration to prevent that. Okay, so I will say that this one does feel a bit sticky compared to this one and this one. So it does feel sticky. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I'll have to report back to you. Or maybe I'll know a little bit more by the end of this video. So now I'm gonna go in with the Pico half and half and give it a good shake. And I probably won't have to use as much of this. So I'm just gonna use this much because this one is a little bit moisturizing compared to the 70 Plus. So I know I really like that Anua 70 Plus. There's so many different essences out there. So you just have to find one that has the ingredients that meet your skin needs. But these glowy, milky rice toners are really, really popular. A lot of people really, really love them. And most of them do contain the niacinamide. I haven't found one that doesn't contain the niacinamide. So what I do is I spread this onto the skin, and then I press it everywhere, and I do take this up underneath my eyes too. Does a really nice job of hydrating that under eye area without having to use a separate eye cream. And my skin is so dewy. All right, okay, so that is that. I'll put the rest on my hands, and then I was thinking I will tell you guys this when I do the my check-in with the Dermrace Revive Laser is I'm gonna use after this after my 5 weeks, or I might start this probably tomorrow. I'm gonna use it on one hand and not the other. I don't know which one I should use it on. I'm gonna use it on the one that has the most sun damage. I think I'm gonna use it on this hand, and I'm gonna do one hand with the laser, and then I'm not gonna do this one. I'll do this one after we finish this one, and we'll compare and see if we see a difference, because a lot of people have been using the Dermrace on their hands, and they have been noticing that the skin has thickened up, and it's not crepey, and it's like removing the pigmentation in their hands. So they really, really love it for that. So we're gonna try that. I'll do a test on that. And where's my little dry off cloth? Okay, let me feel my skin. Okay, well, my skin doesn't feel sticky. It feels pretty good, which is a good sign, because with the Haru Haru Wonder essence, when I use that and put the Prequil half and half on top, sometimes my skin can feel a little bit sticky, but it doesn't. All right, so now that that's absorbed into my skin, let's go into my sunscreen. So I'm gonna go in with my Neovis Silk Sheer 2.0. I am getting a late start too, by the way, because I was waiting for my Amazon order. So it's 1:16 p.m. right now, and I will be going outside after I film this video. So let me put on my sunscreen, and we're gonna let this sit on my skin for about 15 minutes before I go in with my foundation, and I might do my eyes while this is chilling on my face. So with that Prada Soft Matte Foundation, it does have skin optimizing powders in it, so it looks like you don't have to set it with a setting powder, especially if you have dry skin. But I know people who have dry skin really love that foundation. So, and with that foundation, I guess you can buy just the refill, and it's a lot cheaper. So, all right. Okay. So I'm just gonna wipe off my hands here, and I'm gonna look in my mirror, and just to make sure that the sunscreen is all blended. I did get a little bit in my eyebrows. Hopefully it doesn't affect them too much. Gosh, my skin everything just plumped up so nicely. I really hope that tear one works out too. That could be one that would be, this one could be my summer essence, this one could be my fall essence, and this one could be my winter essence. So, all right, let me put on my primer and let that set on my eyes. So I got a MAC paint pot. I got the color Painter Lily to even out the color of my lids instead of using concealer, because in the summertime, I'm noticing that when I use my concealer on my eyelids, and even though I do set it, it has a tendency to get a little bit oily. It doesn't really crease the Prada shadows, but I noticed that they can not look as vibrant as they do when I first apply them. So, and it's because sometimes in the warm weather, when I get hot, that's when I get oily, and then it causes my lids to get oily too. So, okay, so now we're all even with my eyes. I'm gonna let that set, and before I go in with my eyeshadow, I will be setting that with some powder just to even it out, and so I don't get any skipping. Now, what else I got in my Amazon order is I got a new gratitude journal. I finished my other gratitude journal a couple months ago, and I've been meaning to pick up a new one and getting back into the practice of practicing gratitude every day, because I feel like it makes me a better person and I feel better And it's really good for my mental health because my mental health has been in the gutter lately, especially with work. So it's just, you know, with going through the perimenopause, I find that I am just really, really sensitive. I'm not really moody, but I get depressed really easily. Especially because like I feel like I have this constant feeling like I'm not good enough. And with the way I feel like I look right now, I don't feel good. I feel very, very frumpy, and it's been really, really tough. So I picked this up, and it's not exactly what I was expecting, but I'll definitely work with it. But you start it off, it's blank in the inside, and then each day you write in what you're grateful for. And then at the end of the week, you write down how you can pay it forward. So we'll see how that goes. There's several different types of gratitude journals on Amazon, and that one, it seemed like it would be ideal, but I don't know if it's what I was currently looking for. I like ones that have positive affirmations in them too. So I did pick up the Pat McGrath Labs glass skin setting spray, and I returned the Patrick Star or One Size Beauty powder melt. I'll put a picture of it here. That powder melt spray was not right for my skin. It was just way too moisturizing, and it just made my skin look really, really oily, and it didn't blur the makeup, and it just enhanced all my texture. And if I got it on my eyeshadow, it would melt my eyeshadow off. This one is better for my skin. This one is blurring, and it feels more like a setting spray versus the One Size Beauty one. But if you have dry skin, I would recommend the One Size Beauty if you're looking for that glass skin. But adding in the essence and the half and half from Prequel is actually a really, really nice combination, and it gives you that glass skin. And since your skin is super hydrated, your texture isn't as apparent. So this is actually pretty good. I do like it. I'm not going to use it today, but I will eventually use it here on the channel. So I did return that. What else? Oh, it was funny because I started doing the essences a couple weeks ago and playing around with it with my skin. And then my favorite makeup artist here on YouTube, who is Nikki LaRose, she's a celebrity makeup artist. I have her brushes from BK Beauty. She did a video, I think it was this week, where how to get your best foundation, and she was talking about using the essences with the Prequel half and half to smooth out your skin and have the perfect canvas for your foundation. And this is actually her favorite too, and she has oily skin, so I thought that was pretty interesting. I guess she was reading my mind or something. I don't know. So today what we're gonna do is I am gonna use a Prada eyeshadow. I am gonna pull out one of my very favorites, which is the one, I think it's 01 Portrait, and it's the one with the pop of purple. I wore that yesterday. This week I have been gravitating towards Pulp, Pansy, and then Primula. So I wore the majority of the week this one right here. So I thought this weekend I would change it up and add in a pop of purple. We're going to use the Dior blushes because I do have the pink lilac, in case you want to see what this looks like on my skin. So we'll use that along with the Prada foundation, and then I will go in with my Dior contour sticks because since this is a matte foundation, I want to use cream products instead of my Westman Atelier contour. And bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Armani bronzer. I'm going to go in with the shade 100 because this is a luminous bronzer. And I think that the luminous bronzers look great with matte foundations versus a glowy foundation. At least that's how I like them. And then I may powder underneath my eyes with my Guerlain powders, and I may powder my face. Let's see how the foundation goes. So now let's put some powder on my lids. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Guerlain translucent powder, and I'm gonna apply this to my lids. And I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty. This is their 114 brush. This is, one side is for powder, the other side is for cream products. So this is their concealer brush. But I like the angle of this for my eyelids because I can come up and apply it like this and not get it on my lashes. So we'll do that. So I'm gonna do a video probably in a couple weeks on my journey through perimenopause, and I will keep you guys updated as I'm going through this. You know, like I've mentioned, I've pretty much let my job take over my life, and I really shouldn't do that because it's not good for my mental health. And I just feel like I've lost touch with things that I love, especially coming here on YouTube. It's like, I want to start getting back into, taking care of myself more. Like I haven't been able to work out in the longest time because I was taking Misha for a walk and I fell. I tripped on a crack in the sidewalk and I fell on my right side and I hurt my right shoulder and my right hip. And I was having such a hard time with the healing process. I couldn't do block therapy like I regularly do. I just had to do it on my bed and slide the block, under me, like on my back and underneath my cab. And I was getting some relief, but I really need to get down on the floor and really put all my body weight on the hard surface with that block in order to see a difference. So I'm finally healed. So now I can get back into my workouts. So my functional medicine doctor has recommended a workout plan for me. She wants me to go and try to get those 10,000 steps in. So like every time I eat, I either go for a walk. If it's too hot, jump on the vibration plate or jump on the treadmill. And then she wants me to do weights on the vibration plate 3 days a week, and then start rebounding 3 days a week if I can. So just to get my body moving, get that lymph out, detoxify my body, especially since I haven't been able to work out. So we'll see how that goes. And then she wants me to start using my sauna blanket. I had to put off on using my sauna blanket because I couldn't get in there with my hip and my shoulder. It was just too awkward, and I can't rely on my husband to help me get in and out of it all the time. Even if I put it up on my bed, I couldn't lift my right shoulder out of it to unzip it. So we are going to go in with this palette, and I'm going to go in with this center shade, which this is like a medium honey brown. And I'm going to grab some on this BK01 brush. I have to clean my brushes today. And I'm going to start out with this on the outer corner of my lid. And I'm going to work it up into my crease too. So this is a really pretty palette. And with this palette, you can use this sort of honey brown as a one and done shade too, if you wanted to. So you can get really creative with these Prada palettes, even though there's only 4 shades. You can be creative and create different looks with them. So, okay. Okay, so we did that eye. So I'm going to come over to the other eye. Now, I didn't powder my eye. My eye's good enough. And I'm feeling the skip on that one eye. This one, it seems like I powdered it pretty well. Those MAC paint pots, they really grip the eyeshadow. I wanted to give it a try since a lot of eyeshadow primers don't work out for me. They cause a lot of irritation on my eyes in the warm weather. So we'll see how this works out. I might just have to tough it up and go back to using my concealer because that works really well for me. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take a BK Beauty A503 blending brush, and I'm going to blend this color out a little bit because I put it on just a little bit too much and I want to lighten it up. Okay, so next I'm going to grab this Rougher Mini 02 and we're going to go into this lilac purple shade. I have it here from when I used this yesterday, and I'm going to pop this from the inner corner to meet that brown shade. Now, these little pops of color in these Prada palettes, they're not shockingly pigmented like they look in the palette, but however, you can build it up. So I love this palette because it is a pretty palette with a pop of purple, but it's neutral. So I'm just applying this, and these shadows are so smooth, creamy, buttery. They feel like a cream, but they are a powder, and they're very blendable, easy to work with, and buildable. So I'm going to pop a little bit more of this here in the inner corner. You could create a halo eye with this purple shade. It would be really pretty. Okay, so in these regular Prada Dimension palettes, you have this matte shade right here, which is kind of like, it feels like really dense. I believe that these are meant to sort of be like a liner, and they work really well as a liner, but however, you can use them as a regular eyeshadow too. So I'm going to go in with that brown matte shade, and we're going to use this as a liner. So I'm going to go ahead and start using this and line the upper outer lash line, and then I'm going to take it and what's left over and line my lower lash line. I'm going to get a little bit more of that. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. I didn't want this video to be too long. I always say I try to make these videos shorter, but I always have so much to tell you guys and show you guys that it just never works out. So we are going to get back into regular content. I know a lot of you guys miss my skincare videos, so we will be getting back into skincare as soon as I finish up my Derm Rays 5th week. Then we will get back into red LED light therapy and microcurrent. I haven't been using microcurrent. I stopped using my red LED light 2 weeks before I started the Derm Rays. And then I haven't used any microcurrent for since the last time I came on here and, did P2 with you guys. So it's been a while, and I want to get back into it because I find that microcurrent really does help with the skin texture, the healing, the microcirculation, the firming, the lifting and toning, and I really, really miss using my Neurotris devices. So we'll get back into that, and I'll show you how to incorporate it with the laser. I'll talk about that in my video. But with the Derm Rays laser, I wouldn't recommend that you use another laser with it or use radio frequency. I would recommend that you wait to use those until after you're into your maintenance phase of the laser. And the same thing goes for microneedling. And, if you're using acids and retinols, you don't want to use those after your treatment. You'd want to use those on your off nights with the laser because those will make your skin really sensitive after the treatment. And I would recommend on your off nights, if you wanted to use this at the same time as using your red LED light therapy and your microcurrent, I would recommend using those on your off nights of using the laser, okay? All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go back in with that Refer 01 and grab that middle honey brown shade. And I'm going to deepen the outer corner here and take it up here a little bit. Okay, go like that. And then where is my blending brush? It's in front of me. Do you guys ever like lose your makeup brushes like I do when they're right in front of you? It's like you can't see them. So I'm going to dabble into, you know, a little bit of everything going forward here. I'm not going to just stick to like skincare and makeup. I want to get more into wellness, keep you guys interested because, you know, sometimes it can be like a little bit too repetitive with making content if we're always using the same skincare products and stuff. So I need to venture out a little bit. And maybe like me keeping you updated about perimenopause and what works for me. I also stopped intermittent fasting because it was causing my body to go into insulin resistance. So my doctor has me on pretty much a animal-based diet. And I'll go into more of what I eat when I do that perimenopause video. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with this metallic shade, which is a very light gold color. It's so pretty. I'm gonna grab this Refer 21 brush. And the brush that I used to apply my liner was a Refer 23 brush. I love this brush for applying eyeshadow like a liner. And we are going to take this shade and we're gonna put it right in the center here, just to add a bit of a pop. You don't even have to use the purple in this palette. You could just use all the other colors. There's so many different ways that you can use these colors in this palette. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with that purple shade and I'm going to mesh it with that gold. And then I'm going to take that Refer 01 with that sort of honey brown and mesh it with that gold. And there we go. So that is pretty much going to be it for the eyes for right now. Now I'm going to go in with this Prada foundation. Now this Prada foundation, you can buy it in just the refill, which this is glass and it's a lot cheaper. So I think this is on its own is $55 and you get 1 ounce. And if you get it with the case, I believe it is $70 and this is plastic. And this is how it's refillable. So you don't have to buy this if you don't want this case. You can just buy it with the glass bottle. But if you are someone who is big on packaging and you want the packaging, then you're going to want to get it with the case. So, and then the inside of the cap is like a pistachio color, the Prada pistachio. So this is a self-setting foundation and you have to work with it fast. If you don't work with it fast and blend into the skin, it's going to set. So I am applying it with my fingers because this is how I apply my foundation. And I can definitely smell that limonene. It smells like a little bit of alcohol too. And so I'm just applying this to the center and I'm going to work it out with my fingers really quick. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and blend it out into my skin. We'll see how this does with the texture of my face, like if it enhances my pores or my wrinkles. Most matte foundations don't enhance like my pores, but they will enhance my wrinkles. So now I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to blend and press this foundation into my skin. And I noticed that this foundation right now, it has like a soft luminosity to it, so it's not completely matte. So it has a bit of luminosity to it, or glow, and it's not enhancing my pores. This is the first time I'm trying it on my face. I tried it on my hand yesterday. So I'm curious to see how this wears on my skin, because I do like a matte foundation from time to time. I don't want all my foundations to be glowy like they are right now. And so far, this looks really, really pretty on my skin. I would say with that pump, it gave me a nice light coverage, almost medium. So I do want to build it up right in here just a little bit. So I'm going to grab a pump, a half a pump, just like that. And I'm going to take my fingers and put it here in this area. That's where I need a little bit of building. And I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 115 brush. And I'm just going to press that into the skin right there, just to kind of build it up a little bit in that area, get more coverage. There, perfect. That's perfect. All right, now I will wipe off that. I kind of wasted that. And I'm gonna go over it with my beauty blender, just to kind of shear it out a little bit so it doesn't look too cakey, since it is a matte foundation. And this does have powders in it, so I don't know if it would look too cakey if I build it up too much. Okay, well, so far as a first impression, I like it. I don't like the fragrance of this. I mean, the fragrance smells nice, and it's like a light citrus, but it's also kind of, at first it smells strong and then it dissipates, and I do smell the limonene. So for me, this would not be an everyday foundation. This would be more of a foundation, I think, for when I know it's going to be a long day and I need like a matte foundation, because I might get too glowy if I'm going to an event that's outdoors or it's a really, really hot day. All right. Okay, so I need to fix my liner right here because it looks a little bit sketchy. And how does my eyeshadow look? I need to fix this side. I need to put a little bit more color right here. And then let's do my concealer. So for my concealer, I'm going to use the House Labs, and this is the shade 21 Light Medium Neutral. And I'm going to put it on my hand, and then I'm going to take my concealer brush, and this is my BK Beauty Nikki LaRose collection, the N16, and I'm going to get the concealer on my brush. And at first, I'm just going to go in and dab it, and then I'm going to lightly spread it underneath my eyes to clean up that dark brown eyeshadow as I used as my liner, and clean up around the outer area of my brow bone and make my eyeshadow go more at an angle to give my eyes a lift. And then do the same thing over here. Grab a little bit more concealer. So how's your guys' summer going? You guys been busy? Has anybody been traveling? We haven't traveled anywhere. I don't know when we're gonna be going on vacation next. We don't usually go on vacation in the summertime because, you know, it's too expensive. And since we don't have kids, then we'll wait to go on vacation until like maybe, usually October is usually when we go. All right. Okay, so far, so good. Really like the way this foundation looks on my skin. And I can tell you that I'm glad that I went in with this Tier Milk Skin Toner because it is a little bit more moisturizing than the 70 Plus. And this is a glass bottle too, by the way, that I feel like it's going to give me the perfect amount of hydration to wear with this foundation. So I'm going to go in with my Dior contour stick in the shade medium. And we're just going to do a little bit of contour. I really do like the way that this foundation looks on my skin now that I see it a little bit more. Okay, so we'll do that one there. I have to wash my makeup brushes after I'm done here. Now, I was going to wash my hair today, but I decided that I'm just going to refresh my curls with my Apres Bond Repair Treatment, and then I'll give it a good wash tomorrow morning. For work, I got my hair cut on Wednesday, and it's shorter. I have officially a bob now. I don't really like it with my hair curly, but my husband says he really likes the length on me, so we'll see. I washed my hair yesterday and I just wore it curly, and I was kind of like freaking out because it is a lot shorter. And it's been a while since my hair has been this short, and I was kind of like, oh, I wore it straight, and it looks longer when it's straight versus when I wear it curly, but we'll see how it goes. I just needed to get a haircut, and I wanted it refreshed, and then my hairstylist, she did a clarifying shampoo, and I wish I would have known that she was doing a clarifying shampoo because I would have told her not to. Because they wreak havoc on my scalp, and I use the Color Wow Dream Coat on my hair instead of a clarifying shampoo, and my scalp's all broken out with like dry patches, and it's like sore and red. So I'm going to go in with the Dior Contour Stick in the shade Tan, and I'm going to use this on my nose to kind of give me a bronze instead of a contour. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is the Patrick Ta Nose Contour Brush. This is the only Patrick Ta product I have left in my collection. I got rid of all my other Patrick Ta products because they started to get mold on them. And I don't know if you guys know, but that's a thing. I don't know what's going on with that brand, but I also found it's funny that they reformulated those highlighters, and those were really, really expensive. And those came out, I think, just a little over a year ago, and we all spent our money on those. And then they reformulated. I think that those highlighters should have been recalled, or for the people that purchased them, they should go through records and find out and issue us new highlighters because mine ended up getting mold on them. And my blushes ended up getting mold on them. So, and you know that their products, they've been having issues like with some of their eyeshadow formulas. Like they came out with their Major Dimensions palettes, like a rose palette with all these metallics in it. It's a slurry eyeshadow formula, and a lot of people are getting mold on those eyeshadows, but some of his other palettes too. And I did get rid of my Patrick Ta Major Dimensions, I think 3. And it was the all matte with the warm and cool neutrals. So I got rid of that. So yeah, I'm done with Patrick Ta. I just don't really like how he goes about his brand these days with the reformulation of those highlighters. The quality of his products are just not that great for the price. And then like how he goes about justifying the cost of some of his products. I just think like he needs to rethink his pricing with the quality of his brand. And that's just me, but I'm just being true and honest here. So what I use for my contour is the BK 109. This is the sister to the BK 115 foundation brush. I like this for cream blushes, also great for cream contours. It's great for foundation too, if you like that. All right, so now that we have our eyes done, I'm gonna do my brows really quick with the Sephora Volumizing Brow Gel in the shade 1.5. This is like a taupe shade. And this is just a tad bit too dark for me. And it reminds me of the Anastasia Volumizing Brow Gel, except for this one is, I think, like $10 cheaper than that one. So I picked this up to try it. I like it. I still miss the Kosas one because that one is like really quick and easy for me to use versus these ones, since they are very highly pigmented. I have to be really careful with my placement and I have to really get them in my brows. And I use the tinted brow gels to darken my eyebrows because they've gotten so light, and also because I'm getting a lot of grays. So this is what I say, that this isn't quick and easy because it is so highly pigmented that if you don't get enough of it on certain areas, it can look patchy in your brows. And I don't need to use a pencil unless I really want to go in there and do a lot of shaping of my brows. But I have a lot of brow that I can get away with just using a tinted brow gel. All right, they're not coming out like how I wanted them to. All right, so what I'm gonna do is let me quickly do my blush, and then I will come, oh, actually, you know what? Let's powder. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place again. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my concealer brush and just lightly go underneath my eyes to scoop out any of concealer or foundation that has settled. Just like I like to come over here. It's not settling, but I like to come over here and blend out where I have a lot of lines a little bit more with foundation and concealer before I put powder on. So I'm gonna go under my eyes with the translucent, and we're gonna use that same BK Beauty brush that I did powder my lids with. So I grabbed some of the powder and I load it into the brush, and I'm patting it in my hand. And what I notice, a big mistake that I make when I powder my under eyes is that I'll go like this, and when you go like that, it stretches the skin, and then the powder will get into your lines, and then you're gonna get creasing in your concealer. So I'm keeping a straight face, and I'm just going to powder this area. And what I'm gonna do with this foundation today is I'm just gonna powder the areas underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and right here in between my brows. And I'm not going to set the rest of my face. I'm just gonna leave it like that and test it out and see if I can truly get away without wearing powder. So we'll do that. And then, oh, bronzer, I almost forgot bronzer. So let's do bronzer really quick. See, my mind is all over the place. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this BK Beauty 103 Dense Bronzer Brush with the Armani Luminous Silk Bronzer in the shade 100. I get it on my brush. We're just going to pop this on. Now I have the shade 110, which is a little bit more warmer. That one makes me look roasted and toasted. I know the latest craze right now is that Farrah Hamidi bronzer, and it's $78 for just a little tiny pan. It is refillable. So the first initial one, if you want the case, is $78. And then if you want to buy the refills, I think they're like $55, but it's so tiny, and I think you would go through it really fast. And from what I've seen, it doesn't look all that special, but everybody is raving about it, and it's sold out right now. I've seen a couple of people who have said it's really nice, but they don't think it's worth the hype as what everybody is saying it is. So, see how beautiful this bronzer is? This is one of my favorite bronzers. If you like a soft, luminous bronzer, especially with your matte foundation, these Armani Luminous Silk bronzers are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love those. I forgot how much I love those. All right, so now for blush, we're going to go in with the Dior Rosy Glow blush in Pink Lilac. And this is the powder one. Here's the color. And I'm going to grab my BK Beauty N15 brush. And I'm going to go in with the powder first. And this way you guys can see what this color looks like on me. So for a matte foundation, I do sometimes like to go in with just a liquid or cream blush. But I love this combo of the Dior Rosy Glow Backstage blushes in the powder and in the same one in the cream form for the lighter colors like pink, pink lilac, and toffee. Because with toffee and pink lilac, the cream blushes are not that pigmented. And these are the powder ones are very blurring on the skin, and they do have a slight sheen to them for the most part. Candy and toffee do have a shimmer in them, but the rest of the colors do not. They just have this really pretty sort of sheen. So that is pink lilac and what it looks like on me. And then what I like to do is I like to go in with the Rosy Glow blush stick, and this is in pink lilac. Now, pink lilac is a pearlescent formula, so this does have a bit of that pearl in it, so it's gonna go on, add a little bit more pigment to my cheeks, but also give me that highlighted effect. So I'm going to go in with the BK Beauty 116 brush, and I like to get this on the brush just like this, because if I apply it directly to my skin, it's a little bit too balmy. I like to apply it with the brush, and I'll apply it here at the apples of my cheeks, just like I did with toffee in my last video. And then right at the tops of my cheeks here. And this will give you a little bit more pigment in here, and you'll see that that pH activating will take off a little bit. And what that pH activator does is it just makes the blush a little bit rosy. It doesn't change the color, it just makes it a little bit rosier. And that's why they call them the Rosy Glow blushes. Okay, so that is pink lilac. Now, I do love these Dior blush sticks. I think they're beautiful. If you are someone who doesn't like a lot of pigment in your blush and you want to have control over building it, and you like a balmy blush, if you have dry skin, then you will love these. If you apply these directly to the face and blend it in, you'll get more of that balmy feeling and look of the blush. But if you take a brush and you blend it either on your hand or take it straight from the bullet, then it doesn't look balmy or feel sticky. When I apply it like this, it doesn't feel sticky. If I apply it just with the brush onto my cheeks, it doesn't feel sticky. So, all right, so I am gonna step off camera, do mascara. I'm gonna use the Dior Over Volume mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm dressed. I refreshed my hair, which I'll show you what I used in just a second. I'm gonna go in with the blue strobe highlighter from Dior, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this down the bridge of my nose at the tip, and I'm using a rougher 20 brush. I don't need any highlighter here on the top of my cheeks because with that Rosy Glow blush stick, it gave me some really nice luminosity there and right here on my cheeks, and it doubles as a highlighter for me. You definitely could do that though. Now for the eyes, they look really, really good. I think I could go in and take this purple color and mesh it a little bit more and bring it up a little bit more so it looks even, because this one looks like I have more purple showing versus this one. And then, so that's gonna be it for the Prada Portrait palette. And again, I just got the refill in this one versus getting it in the case because I was trying to save money. And if you do that, just remember that these do not come with a plastic over them. So you want to store them in something like one of these eyeshadow palettes I picked up from Amazon, just to keep them from drying out. Let's see here. Now for finishing off my eyes, I'm going to go in with my Dior highlighter in Nude Halo. And I'm going to take this rougher number 12 brush and I'm going to grab some of this Nude Halo and I'm going to put some of that here on my brow bone. And I'm also going to put it a little bit here on the inner corner of my eye to brighten it. Okay. Now I have some disappointing news. So my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair lip liner, which is one of my favorites, the other day when I was applying it, the tip fell off. And as I keep sharpening it, the tip keeps on breaking. So I got a funky one. And I found out too late because I can't return that because I've had it for a while. So for lips, I want to use this Dior lip butter in lavender or glazed lavender because I think it is so, so pretty. Now, I really like these, and the couple things that I don't like is for the price, the packaging does feel and look cheap, and they're not filled up all the way. To me, that these should be filled up all the way to the very end or come out with a smaller packaging. It's very deceiving. But however, I love this color along with the glazed pink. These have the most beautiful shimmer in them. And this one is really pretty. It's a lavender shimmer and it looks so gorgeous outside. It kind of reminds me of the blue strobe highlight powder. It has like lavender, blue, and pink in it. I'm going to see if I can swatch it so you guys can see it. I don't think that this does it justice. But this is so, so pretty out in the sun. And this looks similar to this highlighter. I love, love, love. So, I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty. This is the muted pink lip contour, which is almost similar to the Pillow Talk Fair. So this one is a little bit creamier and it lasts long like the Pillow Talk Fair. So I'm glad that I have this as a backup. And it's cheaper than Charlotte Tilbury lip cheats. So I'm going to do that. The only thing is that I really like lip liners that you can sharpen because you can get that point. I mean, you can sharpen this too because there is a sharpener here, but it doesn't sharpen quite like a sharpener does. And we're going to go in with this and I'm going to apply it to my lips. I don't think that you're going to really be able to. Can you see that lavender shimmer? How pretty that is? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And it looks really gorgeous outside in the sun. But it really matches that blue strobe highlighter. But I love the way that these make my lips feel. There is a slight mintiness to them. They're very hydrating and they do plump up your lips because of the hydration. But the color is just so, so pretty. I love it. All right, so I did try another new foundation, but I ended up returning it. I picked up the Givenchy Prism Libre Glow Serum Foundation, and I didn't realize that that had the ingredient undecaying. So I tried it, and then my face got really dry and irritated, and I broke out in little bumps all over my face. Now, it had been a while since I've used Anti-glycation in my products. They do put Anti-glycation in skincare and makeup products when they don't want to use silicones, and it is not the best ingredient in my opinion. A lot of people have a lot of issues in their skin from it. There's undecane, I think there's isolidocane, but if you see something that says CAN in it in the ingredient deck, you know, towards the end, I would avoid that because it is a known skin irritant, and a lot of people have issues with that ingredient like myself. So I took back that foundation, which is a bummer because that is a really pretty foundation too. It is comparable to the Dior Hydra Nude and the Latent Glow foundation from Guerlain, but it's more of a lighter formula and like a serum, and it's not as glowy as the Dior Hydra Nude. It's more of a, I would say it's glowy, but not overly glowy. So it's really, really pretty. And if you can get away with that ingredient, then I would suggest looking into it. But unfortunately, I could not. So that is it for this makeup look. Now, what I did with my hair is I take my Après Bond Repair treatment, and on the days when I wear my hair curly, if I don't want to wash it the next day, I go in and I spritz this all throughout my hair and fluff up my curls, and it refreshes my curls so nicely. Now, I am having a little bit of an issue with my hair. I think that this side is longer than this side. So I don't think she cut my hair right. I might have to go back and have her fix that. I was noticing that yesterday when I was wearing it curly. It seemed like this side is a little bit longer, but we'll see. I don't know. I am thinking about looking for a new hairstylist because like the last couple times I just haven't been too happy. And with my hair, I've been wanting to get it colored, but her schedule doesn't work with my schedule anymore. She only works one Saturday a month, and you know, it's hard for me to line up. So I am gonna probably have to look for a new hairstylist. I love the way that she cuts my hair, but I think this time this side is a little bit longer than this side. At least it is in the front from what I can tell. And if it is, I am going to be mad because it's going to be really hard for me to get back in there. I'm just probably going to have to go pay for another haircut from somebody else. But it's really disappointing because I've been noticing like the last few times I've seen my hairstylist, she's just not on her game. Like the last time I had my hair highlighted, the highlights were different colors. They weren't the same blonde. Like I had like a really dark spot here where the color needed to be left on longer. And every time I go in there, it's like a different color blonde. And I want her to like do the gray blending because this is all my gray hair right here. And it's just like she almost doesn't like really listen to me about like what I want with my hair color, and it's becoming more and more apparent when I go in there. And then also it takes her so long to do my hair. Like I'm in there for 4 hours for highlights, and I do not want to spend 4 hours in a hairstylist chair getting my hair done for highlights. She just really takes her time, and I mean, we talk and stuff, but I don't have 4 hours to sit there. And sometimes she just thinks like I have the whole day to sit there with her, which I don't. So I'm gonna be looking for a new hairstylist now. And when I was in there, I was talking to her because I don't necessarily want to really go in and highlight my hair all over anymore. I just want to do a little bit of the gray blending because I'm getting more and more gray, and I just don't really want to spend that kind of money to get my hair colored, and I don't want to be in the hairstylist chair forever. So I'm thinking about putting some blonde just right here in the front just to kind of blend everything together, and that's going to be really low maintenance for me. And, you know, we'll see what happens as my hair gets more gray, but like this, you know, I think it looks pretty. So we'll see, and maybe having that off that contrast of the yellow here will help with, you know, the gray blending in more, because my husband really wants me to get my hair highlighted. He says he's not ready for me to go completely gray yet, but I just don't really want to go through that long drawn out process of, you know, getting all those highlights in my hair and then, you know, risking my hair breaking because, you know, I am in perimenopause and, you know, our hair gets really dry and brittle. But thank goodness I haven't experienced that because of the hair products that I use on my hair now. But I just don't want to risk that anymore. So I hope I'm making sense. So I will have to say, so far with this foundation, I am really liking this Tier Milk Skin Toner. So this is another one to look into. It's working really, really well. I don't look like super dewy or anything like that. And I did not set this foundation, although it is a soft matte foundation, so I don't need to set it. And it looks really, really good. So I will continue to test this one and I will let you know. Tomorrow I'll wear it with my regular foundation and we will see, like a glowy one. We'll see if I get too oily with it, but I'll keep you posted. So this is another one to put on your list because I really like it too. It didn't cause any irritation when I applied it and my skin looks really juicy and plump. So all right, guys, so we will be getting back into some regular content now that I'm feeling better. And, you know what I need to do is to put my priorities first before other things, and not let things get to me. I hope that makes sense. I'm just kind of delirious at this point. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to, you know, coming on here more regularly. Now, I probably won't have a video out next weekend because we do have some family in town. So that's why I'm going to try to get my video up with the Derm Rays laser on Wednesday, just so you know. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I'm sending you all so much love and light. I'm so grateful for you all. I appreciate you sticking with me through this roller coaster ride. And I love you guys so much. And I am so thankful and so grateful for you all, especially those of you who continue to show up for me here. I'm going to have to do a giveaway for you guys soon, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.